Hey guys, today we're going to be discussing changing spark plugs in the famous 3.5 V6 Toyota engine. This particular one, as you can see, is in a Highlander, and we're just going to jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to do is just pop off this top, which just is kind of just pops in and off. There it goes. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a 10mm socket with an extension there, and we're going to pull this plug out. As you can see, these are coil-over spark plugs. They don't have a separate coil, they do have a separate coil for each plug, coil-over. No spark plug wires is what we don't have. Alright, it's got that little tab there. Okay guys, be careful when you're taking these coilovers off because it's got a little plastic tab on it. We'll find his hand here. And that little plastic tab is just meant to be moved back ever so slightly, but they're real brittle from time. So they'll break real easy. Alright, let's give you a little close-up of this one. There you go, you can see it right there. And anyway, you just pull that tab back and slide it off. And on to the next thing. Okay, so here's the coilover. As you notice, we're looking for anything that looks burnt up around here, but it all looks good. It looks like it's firing good. You see any damages anywhere? No, nothing. Okay, cool. Looks good. We're going to pull all three of these out, and then we're going to change out the plugs. So, looks like a standard socket wrench, but guys, get one of the, because this is kind of deep in there, as you see. That thing is way down there. So you would definitely want to get a magnet or something like that to help yourself out, or one of the spark plug pullers that's got the rubber insert in it. See how we got that little magnet right there? We're just kind of sliding them out. Let's take a look at what that plug looks like. Is this the original ones right here?
Yep.
Alright. Now the new ones that are going in look a little bit different, don't they?
Yes.
I'm trying to get that tip on there. These are the... Let's get that thing from moving. Anyway, it's got a tip on both sides of it. It's got it on the diode and on the other end of it. There you go. You can kind of see it right there a little bit. Anyway, those stickers, how much were they? Like $8 a piece?
These are $9 a piece.
$9 a piece. Man, that's a lot of change.
These are $8.29 a piece.
This is what we're going back into, the NGKs.
Because I didn't have the other.
And you know, when you're looking at these spark plugs, you're looking for a real clean burn, and that's about as clean as it gets. Of course, we're not having a problem with it, but...
And that's with 88,000 miles.
88,000 miles. That's why you buy a Toyota. Now, we're going to put some of this anti-seize on here. And I know on some forums they say, hey, don't use it. But I'm going to tell you what. Whenever steel hits aluminum, what do you think?
It seizes.
It seizes. So I don't give a shit what they tell you.
Especially when you leave plugs into 100,000 miles.
100,000 miles is a long time for metal and aluminum sit there getting hot and cool off at 800 degrees every other time you start it. And we're just going to put it in there, fish it in with a nice little magnet. There you go.
Yeah, that's the gripper.
See the grip? Cool, cool, cool. Alright, away it goes. Alright, now as you see, the first bank is done. 1, 2, 3 there. So that should be all it's done, right? Nah, this job just got started. Okay, so as I want you to notice right here, the that intake, the air intake right there with the little metric hex heads holding it in, that's all got to come off. See the secondary PCV back up right there. Then the you see the, I think we're going to leave the breather box on because it's just a little easier that way. But we're going to have to take off the air lines and the breather box, hose, throttle body, intake, windshield wipers, windshield, firewall. No, wait a minute. We're going to stop at the intake. Anyway, guys, so step one. Let's go ahead and release this center hose right here, and we're going to get that busy, and we'll kind of show you how we're doing each piece of it. So the first thing we did is this hose right here.
PCV valve?
Yeah, that's your PCV valve right there. See it? So anyway, we're gonna take the PCV hose off, just clamp it together, and just slides off real easy. All right, come back for problem number 2. All right, so as you see, we're taking out the center pipe here. You've got one air hose right here. You see it directly right in front of the screen. Now, when you go to pull this out, let's show them that clip on the back. this little hose right here just pops into the side. You'll see the insulation around it where it's meant to hold it. Just like that. So pretty simple stuff. You're just going to release the two pins or tension. There they are right there. The two tensioners, see them, this Phillips head. Release them, pop it out, and now we're onto the throttle body. Actually, I think we're just going to leave the throttle body in place. Actually, we'll get back with you on that in just a second. Hang on. We'll be right back. Click. Alright, so we've decided that the throttle body would be better to just go ahead and take it and just sit it to the side. You can see that TPS sensor and its connectors, various airlines and stuff. If we just undo it, all we have to do is sit it down rather than disconnect everything. So we're going to attempt to do that to save a few extra minutes. Okay, so proceeding forward with the intake, it looks like it requires a 5mm. It does require a 5mm hex head. And then it's got two studs, you see them right here, which are 10mm. We went ahead and released those, and now we know there's a couple bolts in the back or nuts in the back. We're going to chase those down and show you how that's done here in just a second. Okay guys, so I don't know if you can really tell in the mirror, right where that mirror is facing, there is a 10mm bolt. There you go, right there. See it? It's in the mirror. That's on the back side going through the housing of the intake. So that's going to be the number one we're going to take out. And then there's one on the opposite side. We may not be able to get on video, but when we get it out, we'll show you how it's done. Now with that one mount out in the back, in order to access this rear quarter one here on the back of the intake, you see this wiring harness right here? We're going to have to make it flexible where we can move. So the first place to start with that, see right down there, dead center, black plastic, we're going to remove that. Looks like about a 10mm, and we'll see if that gives us enough flexibility to get our hand back there to reach the second bolt. Okay, so the intake is finally off, and what we're going to notice about this real quick, I'm going to show you how we got it off in a second, but these right here are the little gaskets you're going to need to replace. They just pop on and off. What happens is they get a little bit hard over time. Okay, now if we flip this over, this is what holds it from the back. You see this bolt right here? That's a 13mm, and there's one on the opposite side, 13mm. Now, long story short, this is really difficult to get your hands out of, and I just absolutely chewed my arm up. You can't really see it from there, but I chewed my arm up getting it out. But we've come up with a modification that we think will work. So, I'll show you that in a second. This right here is what's going on down here, which you can't really see, so let's get some light on the situation. There we go. You see way far down there. Okay, all the way down here. Let's see if I can get a light on that. You see the plugs to it? So there is no way to even possibly conceive to change the spark plugs without taking this off. We also removed a couple of the brackets for the wire harness. And without further ado, let's show you our new modification. Alright, so this right here used to be, across the top, was a solid piece. As you may very well know, it no longer is. So the idea is, shit. Edit the word shit on this video right now because we just dropped the light. Nah, let's leave it in there. Now the reason we're going to do this is we're going to put the bolt in the bottom, which is it's almost impossible to access, but we're just going to slide it over top of the bolt. When we put it in there, it should give the same support, and I think the word would be Fido. Meanwhile, how long would you say it took us to do this job?
5 hours.
It's a 5-hour job, even on a good day with sun shining and everything good. It's doable, but guys,
it ain't fun.
It's not fun, and if you're just a novice, really pay attention to what's going off where and who, where, and how, why, all that good stuff. Anyway, man, peace from the car man. Have a good day. Hope this helps you out. Save you some money. Later.